How would you define public relations now?
Well, I think public relations is changing, and probably changing more in the last 10 years than in the last 100 years, because public relations really grew with the mass media. And as you had the advent of radio and television and national newspapers, there was a need for businesses to communicate with their publics. And in those days, the only way to communicate with millions of people was through the media. And that all started to change with the internet. And what's really been a rapid change is in the last 10 years. People forget we're doing this interview with a smartphone. The first smartphone, the iPhone, was introduced 10 years ago in 2007. Of course, today we can't imagine living without the phone, but until 10 years ago, we all lived without the phone because it hadn't been invented yet. So this has been a big change, because now every single person is carrying around a communications device in their hand. And what that's meant in terms of public relations is that now there are many ways to reach out to millions of people. You don't need the media. So whereas one time public relations was focused on a very small subset of people, the editors, the journalists, the television producers, the broadcasters, the people who controlled basically the access, the gates, to reach these millions of people. Now you don't need those gatekeepers anymore, and it's possible for anyone to reach out to millions of people. But the problem that's created is that now that everyone can do it, there's just so much out there. And this is the thing, when everyone can be, has a platform and everyone can be shouting and making noise, it's very difficult to break through the clutter. So this is where I think our business has changed. It's become much more of a strategic business and a thinking business. Before it was about the mechanics. How do you get the news into the newspaper? How do you get the news on the television? And now it's more of a thinking process where you need to understand the audiences, understand the different stakeholders, and you have to come up with content that they're interested in. Because it's not a matter of just pushing stuff out there, because there's too much information. So if everyone's just pushing information out there, it doesn't get consumed, it doesn't get read. So I think now our job is to come up with content that actually is interesting to people. We need to earn their respect, we need to earn their time, because the battle is for people's time. There's more information out there than anyone can consume in 24 hours. Even if you don't sleep and you consume information for 24 hours, there's still too much to consume. So how you break through that and come up with messaging and a vehicle to reach people so that they actually pay attention to you and to listen to you, that's the real challenge for public relations today.